Good evening, friends. There will always be people who try to disturb your peace, situations that test your patience, and circumstances that seem designed to shake you at your very core. But imagine living in such a way that nothing, no one, and no event can truly steal your calm. Imagine walking through life as though you are the ocean itself. Waves may rise and winds may blow, but deep within you remain still and unshaken. That is the secret to living freely, learning how never to be bothered by anyone. The world constantly pulls us into conflict, comparison, and chaos. Someone criticizes you, someone misunderstands you, someone gossips about you. The question is not whether these things will happen, they will. The real question is whether you will allow them to penetrate your soul. Your power lies not in controlling others, but in mastering your inner world. Once you control that, no one can bother you. The truth is, people act from their own experiences, fears, and desires. When they speak against you, it is rarely about you, it is about their inner storms. The angry man is angry at himself before he is angry at you. The jealous woman is trapped in her own cage long before she points fingers at your success. When you understand this, their actions lose power over you. You stop reacting to their noise and begin responding with silence, composure, and strength. Being unbothered does not mean being indifferent or cold. It means rising above the drama that tries to drag you down. Think of a mountain. People may shout at it, curse at it, even throw stones at it, but the mountain does not respond. It remains what it is, unmoved, unshaken, eternal. The mountain teaches us that peace is not found by silencing the world, but by standing firm within ourselves. Most people spend their lives trying to gain approval, running after validation, and chasing the impossible dream of pleasing everyone. This is the easiest way to remain bothered for the rest of your life. The secret is to stop seeking permission to be yourself. You were not born to fit into the fragile expectations of others. You were born to express your truth, your voice, your essence. When you know who you are, the opinions of others become like passing clouds. They may cover the sun for a moment, but they cannot stop its light from shining again. Another step to becoming unbothered is to master the art of detachment. Detachment is not about abandoning life or people. It is about refusing to let outcomes control your peace. You may work hard, but you are not enslaved by results. You may love deeply, but you are not shattered if someone fails to return it. You may pursue dreams, but you are not crushed if the path takes longer than expected. When you detach, you recognize that your worth does not depend on what others do, say, or think. It rests solely on your unshakable center. To never be bothered, you must understand the impermanence of all things. Insults fade, anger dissolves, jealousy burns out. Even those who rise against you today will be forgotten tomorrow. Life is too short to trade peace for temporary storms. Why give energy to the fleeting shadows when your soul is meant to shine endlessly like the sun? Every time you let small disturbances consume you, you hand over your crown of freedom. But every time you remain calm, you claim the throne of mastery. One of the greatest powers you can cultivate is silence. Silence is not weakness. Silence is a weapon sharper than any sword. When people expect you to argue and you choose silence, you disarm them. When they expect rage and you offer stillness, you rise above. Silence allows your energy to remain intact. It prevents you from being drained by unnecessary battle. Remember, not every fight deserves your presence. Sometimes the most powerful statement is no statement at all. At the same time, being unbothered requires awareness of your own ego. Much of what bothers us comes from our desire to appear right, superior, or important. When someone challenges our image, the ego screams for defense. But when you dissolve the ego, you realize you are not diminished by the words of others. Your value does not rise when praised, nor does it fall when criticized. You are beyond both. Like the sky, you remain vast, regardless of what passes through. You may wonder, how do I practice this in daily life? The answer is to cultivate inner stillness through mindfulness. Each morning before facing the world, take time to breathe deeply and remind yourself, nothing outside me can control me unless I allow it. When you enter the day with this mindset, you move through conversations and conflicts like water flowing around rocks. You are no longer trapped by resistance. Instead, you adapt, you flow, and you remain free. Gratitude also plays a role in being unbothered. When your heart is filled with appreciation, negativity struggles to find a home. The more you focus on what is beautiful, the less you notice what is ugly. Gratitude shifts your attention from irritation to blessing, from lack to abundance. Each time someone tries to disturb you, respond internally with gratitude for the lesson they bring. Even those who bother you teach you patience, strength, and self-mastery. To remain untouched by others, you must also choose your company wisely. Energy is contagious. If you surround yourself with chaos, you absorb it. If you surround yourself with peace, you reflect it. Do not waste time in circles that thrive on gossip, negativity, and complaint. Instead, walk with those who lift your spirit, who speak life into your dreams, and who inspire you to remain calm even in storms. Protect your energy as you would protect treasure, for it is the foundation of your freedom. And yet, the final secret is this: to never be bothered. You must stop trying to control others. The desire to change people is one of the greatest causes of suffering. You cannot force anyone to respect you, love you, or understand you, but you can choose how you respond. You can choose to release expectations and let others be who they are while you remain who you are. Freedom begins when you no longer demand the world to move according to your will. So, my friends, the path to becoming unbothered is not about building walls. It is about cultivating strength within. It is about realizing that your peace is not negotiable. It is about knowing that you are greater than the words, actions, or judgments of others. Walk through life like the mountain, silent, steady, unshaken. Flow through challenges like the ocean, vast, deep, endless. Shine like the sun, untouchable by shadows, unstoppable in brilliance. The next time someone tries to disturb you, remember, they cannot reach the core of your being unless you grant them entry. Stand tall in your truth. Guard your peace like a sacred flame. And above all, remember this: being unbothered is not about ignoring life, but about mastering it. True freedom begins when you learn to govern your inner world. The calm you seek is not in changing people or circumstances, but in holding steady within yourself. When the world rages, your soul can remain like a lake, unshaken by wind or storm. Every disturbance outside only has power if you give it space in your mind. Mastery of your thoughts is mastery of your reality. You can observe chaos without absorbing it. You can witness anger without responding in kind. You can feel criticism without letting it define you. Peace is a choice, a practice, and a habit. It starts with understanding that the world owes you nothing, and yet within yourself you are complete. The moment you claim this inner sovereignty, no one can steal it. You stand untouchable, anchored in your own light. The storm may pass through your surroundings, but you remain serene, unwavering, and whole. In this stillness, you find the ultimate freedom, impervious to any external force. People's criticisms, insults, and judgments are mirrors of their own inner struggles, not reflections of your value. When someone lashes out, it is rarely about you. It is the shadow of their fears, insecurities, and disappointments speaking. When you see this clearly, their words lose their sting. The anger, jealousy, or envy of others cannot pierce a heart that understands this. Their opinions are like clouds drifting past an infinite sky. They appear briefly, then vanish. The truth of your worth remains untouched by transient storms. By observing rather than reacting, you dissolve the influence they attempt to exert. You become immune to the chaos that surrounds you. Their battles are theirs, not yours, to carry. And in this detachment you find freedom, clarity, and a sense of calm that cannot be disturbed. When others project negativity, it is a gift in disguise, teaching patience and compassion. You learn to stay centered, recognizing that what comes from outside need not enter your inner sanctuary. Every criticism is a lesson in resilience, and every judgment is an invitation to stand firmer in your own truth. Staying unbothered does not mean shutting down or withdrawing from life. It means rising above distractions and drama. People will always seek to provoke reactions, to pull you into unnecessary conflicts. But choosing to remain calm is a declaration of strength, not weakness. It is the understanding that your energy is precious and cannot be wasted on noise. Life will constantly test your boundaries, but your response determines your peace. By refusing to be drawn into arguments or fights, you conserve power and clarity. The world will offer turbulence, yet you can float above it like a leaf on water. You do not need to chase validation, prove your worth, or defend your choices to anyone. Every action taken in composure reinforces your sense of self-mastery. Drama loses its appeal when you refuse to participate. The chaos of others becomes background noise to your focused mind. Your calmness radiates like a light that others cannot dim. Every storm that passes only strengthens your inner foundation. You learn that peace is not a state to achieve, but a practice to maintain. Seeking approval from others only keeps you tethered to their moods and opinions. When you release the need to be accepted, you claim sovereignty over your own life. Life becomes lighter when your value no longer depends on someone else's recognition. The pressure to perform or please dissolves when you understand that your essence is enough. Freedom is not in conformity, but in authenticity. Every choice you make becomes aligned with your own vision rather than external expectation. When the world criticizes, applauds, or misunderstands, it no longer controls your emotions. You cultivate a quiet confidence that comes from within, immune to fleeting approval or condemnation. Others' judgments pass like shadows, unable to touch the light inside you. The more you honor your truth, the less you are swayed by popular opinion. Life flows more easily when you focus on your own path rather than chasing the applause of strangers. Self-awareness replaces insecurity. Inner peace replaces anxiety. And in this clarity, you discover the power to move through life with unwavering confidence. Detachment allows you to navigate life without giving power to outcomes or the actions of others. You can pursue your dreams without being shattered by delay, failure, or rejection. You can love without clinging, work without obsessing over results, and engage without losing yourself. Detachment is not apathy. It is a deep trust in your own resilience. When you are unattached to external validation, criticism cannot wound you. When you are detached from chaos, negativity loses its grip. You respond with wisdom, not reaction. Detachment allows you to observe life with clarity, to make choices consciously rather than emotionally. You understand that nothing outside you can diminish your worth. Each moment becomes an opportunity rather than a burden. Challenges become teachers and setbacks become stepping stones. You remain centered, anchored in your own light. Through this practice, life's turbulence becomes manageable, and inner peace becomes permanent. Detachment is the secret pathway to true freedom, calm, and invulnerability. Understanding impermanence allows you to let go of temporary disturbances before they disturb your core. Every insult, every attack, every criticism is fleeting. Even the most intense emotions and conflicts will pass. When you recognize this, your sense of peace is unshakable. You no longer invest energy into events that are inherently transient. Life's waves rise and fall, but the ocean beneath remains deep and still. Anger fades, gossip disappears, and envy burns itself out over time. By observing impermanence, you cultivate patience and perspective. Small disturbances lose their significance, and even major trials are contextualized as brief episodes in a longer journey. Your mind becomes a sanctuary, protected from the storms of external forces. You learn to respond with composure, not impulsiveness. You learn to value energy over reaction. Every challenge becomes an opportunity to reinforce your stability. Recognizing impermanence is like unlocking a shield that protects your soul from unnecessary turmoil. Silence is one of the most powerful tools in remaining unbothered. Choosing not to respond immediately or at all preserves your energy and clarity. Silence allows you to observe without reacting, to witness without being consumed. When others expect fury, argument, or justification, your stillness becomes a statement of control. It conveys power without aggression, wisdom without words, and strength without conflict. Words can inflame situations, but silence diffuses them. It is in silence that your mind remains unpolluted, your heart unshaken, and your spirit intact. The more you practice this restraint, the less external noise penetrates your peace. Silence transforms provocation into an opportunity for composure. It gives you the ability to respond rather than react, to choose rather than be dragged. Those who attempt to disturb you are left powerless, while you remain anchored. Silence is the quiet fortress within which your peace remains untouched. It is the art of victory without battle and the essence of being unbothered. Dissolving the ego is essential to becoming truly unbothered. Much of the disturbance you feel comes from attachment to image, pride, or perception. When someone challenges or criticizes you, the ego demands defense. But when you release the ego, these challenges lose their meaning. You no longer need to prove yourself or control how others see you. Your value becomes internal, independent of judgment or recognition. You remain stable because your identity is rooted in being, not in performance. Dissolving ego allows you to move through life without unnecessary tension or conflict. You are free to focus on your purpose rather than reactions. You respond from clarity rather than pride, from presence rather than fear. The opinions of others become like whispers in the wind, unable to penetrate the depth of your awareness. In this freedom from ego, you cultivate strength, serenity, and invulnerability. You stand whole, complete, and unshaken, regardless of circumstance. Gratitude transforms your perspective and shields you from negativity. By focusing on what you appreciate, the irritation of others loses its significance. Every challenge, annoyance, or criticism can be reframed as a teacher guiding you toward patience and self-mastery. Gratitude fills the gaps where frustration or anger would normally reside. When the mind centers on abundance rather than lack, peace becomes the default state. The more you practice gratitude, the less external events disturb your inner harmony. Even difficult people serve as mirrors for growth, highlighting areas to strengthen patience and understanding. Gratitude allows you to move through life with elegance and poise, observing rather than absorbing chaos. It turns obstacles into opportunities and distractions into lessons. By cultivating this perspective, you become unshakable, impervious to gossip, conflict, or judgment. Your heart remains light, your mind clear, and your spirit free. Gratitude is the anchor that holds you steady amidst life's storms, the compass that directs you towards serenity and strength. Protecting your energy is crucial in remaining unbothered. The company you keep, the conversations you engage in, and the environments you inhabit directly affect your state of mind. Choose surroundings and relationships that elevate rather than drain you. Limit exposure to gossip, negativity, and toxic behavior. Guard your attention like a precious treasure, and do not hand it freely to those who seek to disturb your peace. Every interaction has the potential to either strengthen or weaken your energy. Be mindful of where and with whom you invest your presence. Learn to say no without guilt, to disengage without regret, and to detach without resentment. Protecting your energy ensures that external turbulence cannot penetrate your inner sanctuary. By honoring your own boundaries, you claim control over your life. You reinforce a state of calm that is impervious to manipulation. Your presence becomes a source of stability and clarity, both for yourself and for those who respect it. In this way, unbothered living is not just a mindset, but a practice of self-preservation and empowerment. The final step to being unbothered is to release the need to control others. You cannot dictate how others speak, think, or act, and attempting to do so is a path to endless frustration. True peace comes from focusing on your own behavior, your own mindset, and your own choices. When you stop demanding the world to conform to your expectations, you step into freedom. Let others be who they are while you remain who you are. Your reactions become intentional, not automatic. Your energy remains intact, undiminished by the unpredictability of others. Control is an illusion, but mastery of yourself is real and attainable. By relinquishing the impossible task of directing everyone else, you reclaim power over your life. Peace arises from acceptance, calm grows from surrender, and freedom blossoms from release. You stand firm in your own truth, unwavering, confident, and unshaken. To be unbothered is to be sovereign, composed, and fully alive, immune to the chaos that surrounds you.